What if I told you the biggest thing holding you back isn't your lack of talent, isn't your lack of intelligence, and it certainly isn't bad luck. It's something much smaller, yet far more dangerous. It's the moment you choose comfort over discipline. Every great empire in history, every legendary leader, every extraordinary individual was shaped by one invisible force: self-discipline. Without it, dreams remain dreams, goals remain wishes, and potential dies quietly. Marcus Aurelius understood this better than almost anyone. He ruled the most powerful empire on earth. Yet every single morning, he fought the same battle that you and I fight today, the battle against comfort, against excuses, against the voice that whispers, "Do it tomorrow." Because Marcus knew something most people never realize. The greatest enemy you'll ever face isn't another person, it's the weaker version of yourself. The version that always wants one more hour of sleep, one more excuse, one more distraction, one more chance to delay the life you know you're capable of living. The Stoics believed that every day you stand at a crossroads. One path is easy. It asks nothing from you. It promises comfort, pleasure, convenience. But at the end of that road, there is regret. The other path is difficult. It demands sacrifice, discipline, patience, consistency. But at the end of that road, there is freedom. Most people spend their entire lives waiting to feel motivated. The Stoics laughed at this idea because they understood motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent. Motivation depends on emotion, discipline depends on character, and character is built through the choices nobody else sees. Today, you'll discover the 10 Stoic rules that transformed ordinary men into extraordinary leaders. These aren't motivational tricks. They're timeless principles that have survived for more than 2,000 years. If you truly understand them, your life will never be the same. Let's begin with the first and perhaps the most important rule of all. Rule 1. Win the first battle of the day. Marcus Aurelius wrote something remarkable in his journal. He asked himself, why were you born? To stay under warm blankets? Or to do the work of a human being? Think about that question. Every morning, before the world tests your discipline, life gives you one small challenge: getting out of bed. It sounds insignificant, but it isn't, because the first decision of your day quietly shapes every decision that follows. When you choose comfort first, your mind learns comfort comes before purpose. But when you rise, even when you don't feel like it, you send your brain a completely different message. I am in control. Not my emotions, not my excuses, not my laziness, me. And that single victory becomes the foundation for every other victory throughout the day. Now imagine you wake up tomorrow, the alarm rings, and immediately your mind begins negotiating. Just 5 more minutes. I'll start on Monday. I'm too tired today. Sound familiar? Here's what most people don't realize. That voice isn't trying to protect you. It's trying to keep you exactly where you are. Comfort always sounds reasonable. That's why it's so dangerous. Every excuse feels logical in the moment. But when repeated every day, those tiny excuses become your future. Marcus Aurelius never waited to feel ready. He understood something profound. Action comes first. Feelings come later. The modern world teaches us, follow your feelings. The Stoics taught the opposite. Lead your feelings, because your emotions are excellent servants, but terrible masters. Think about every achievement in your life. Did it happen because you felt like doing the work, or because you did the work, even when you didn't feel like it? That's the difference. Discipline isn't doing what's easy. It's doing what's necessary, especially when it's difficult. The moment you stop negotiating with your excuses, you become dangerous, not to other people, but to your old habits. Every morning, you have 2 choices: obey your comfort or obey your purpose. Only one of those choices builds the life you dream about. That is why the Stoics believed the greatest victory always happens before sunrise, because the person who conquers themselves in the morning is much harder to defeat for the rest of the day. Now, let's move to the second rule, one that separates disciplined people from everyone else. Rule 2. Do what is hard first. Most people begin their day by looking for the easiest task. Check their phone, reply to messages, scroll social media, watch one more video, anything except the thing that actually matters. Why? Because difficult work creates resistance. Your brain naturally wants to avoid discomfort. The Stoics expected this. They didn't see resistance as a warning. They saw it as proof that they were moving in the right direction. Seneca once reminded us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. How often have you delayed a task, only to discover it wasn't nearly as difficult as you imagined? The fear was greater than the challenge. This is why disciplined people attack the hardest task first, because once you've conquered the biggest obstacle, everything else feels lighter. Imagine carrying a heavy stone up a mountain. Would you rather carry it at the beginning or after climbing halfway? The answer is obvious. Life works the same way. The hardest task should always come first, because discipline grows every time you choose difficulty before comfort. And slowly, something incredible begins to happen. You stop fearing hard things. Instead, you start becoming the kind of person who seeks them. There is one enemy far more dangerous than laziness, far more powerful than distraction, and most people never even notice it. Their emotions. One bad mood, and they skip the workout. One stressful day, and they abandon their goals. One criticism, and they lose confidence. Their emotions become the driver of their life. The Stoics refused to live this way. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Notice what he didn't say. He didn't say, control the weather, control other people, control your luck. He said, control your own mind, because the strongest person in the room isn't always the smartest. It's the one who remains calm when everyone else loses control. Imagine two people facing the exact same problem. One reacts with anger, frustration, excuses. The other takes one deep breath, accepts reality, and immediately asks, what can I do now? Both faced the same obstacle, but only one remained disciplined, because discipline isn't just controlling your actions, it's controlling your reactions. The moment you stop allowing emotions to make your decisions, you become stronger than your circumstances. That is true self-mastery. Every emotion is temporary, but the consequences of your decisions can last a lifetime. Never let a temporary feeling destroy a permanent goal. That is why disciplined people don't ask, how do I feel today? They ask, what must be done? And then they do it, whether they feel like it or not. Rule 4, delay pleasure. The modern world sells one message. Get it now, eat now, buy now, watch now, scroll now. Everything is designed to satisfy you instantly. But the Stoics believed instant pleasure creates long-term weakness. Imagine placing two paths in front of a person. The first path offers comfort today. The second offers growth tomorrow. Most people choose the first. Disciplined people always choose the second. Epictetus once taught, no great thing is created suddenly. Read that again. Every strong body was built one workout at a time. Every successful business, one decision at a time. Every powerful mind, one disciplined choice at a time. Greatness is never instant. It is earned by delaying today's comfort for tomorrow's freedom. This is why Marcus Aurelius often practiced voluntary discomfort, not because suffering made him stronger, but because dependence made him weaker. He wanted to prove that comfort did not own him. Ask yourself, could you spend one day without your phone, without social media, without unnecessary pleasure? If the answer is no, then perhaps those things own you more than you own them. The Stoics believed real freedom begins the moment you can walk away from what you enjoy. Because if pleasure controls your choices, it quietly becomes your master. Rule 5. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Think about someone you completely trust. Why do you trust them? Because when they give their word, they keep it. Now ask yourself something uncomfortable. Can you say the same about yourself? How many times have you promised, I'll start tomorrow, I'll wake up early. I'll exercise. I'll change my life, only to break that promise. Hours later, every broken promise seems small, but your mind remembers. Slowly, it stops believing your words. And when you stop trusting yourself, confidence disappears. Most people think confidence comes from success. The Stoics believed confidence comes from integrity, doing what you said you would do. Even when nobody is watching, every promise you keep becomes proof that you can rely on yourself. Marcus Aurelius became extraordinary, not because he was gifted, but because every day he practiced becoming the man he wanted to be. Discipline isn't built overnight. It's built one promise, one habit, one difficult choice at a time. Because every promise you keep makes you stronger. Rule 6. Train yourself to love discomfort. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort. The Stoics searched for it, not because they loved suffering, but because they knew everything that makes you stronger begins with discomfort. The gym is uncomfortable. Learning is uncomfortable. Discipline is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Comfort feels good, but comfort never changes you. Imagine a sword that is never placed in fire, never struck by a hammer, never sharpened. Would it become stronger? The human mind works the same way. Pressure creates strength. Resistance creates discipline. Difficulty creates character. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind. As labor strengthens the body, every difficult moment is an opportunity, not just to survive, but to grow." That is why the Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort. Sometimes they ate simple food. Sometimes they walked instead of riding. Sometimes they chose hardship, even when comfort was available. Not to punish themselves, but to prove comfort did not control them. The person who stays calm with less will always be stronger than the person who needs more to feel complete. That is real discipline, not forcing yourself to suffer, but proving that comfort will never become your master. Rule 7. Guard your time like your life. The richest person isn't the one with the most money. It's the one who wastes the least time. Money can be earned again. Time never returns. Yet every day, people spend hours scrolling, watching, complaining, waiting for the right moment. The Stoics believed your life is nothing more than the way you spend your time. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short life, but that we waste much of it." Think about that. Every hour you waste today is a part of your future you'll never get back. Disciplined people don't protect their money first. They protect their time, because time creates everything else. Every great achievement was built one focused hour at a time. Guard your time, and you'll guard your future. Rule 8. Master your thoughts. Every action begins as a thought. Before you quit, you think about quitting. Before you succeed, you first believe it's possible. Your mind is the birthplace of every habit. Marcus Aurelius understood this. He reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not over other people, not over circumstances, only your own mind." Imagine two people facing failure. One says, "I'm not good enough." The other asks, "What can this teach me?" The event is the same, only the thought is different. And that single thought changes everything. Most people spend years trying to change their lives. The Stoics started somewhere else. They changed the conversation inside their own minds. Because negative thoughts, repeated every day, become negative beliefs, and beliefs become your reality. Discipline begins the moment you stop believing every thought that enters your head. Instead, choose your thoughts, the way a king chooses his advisors. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every fear deserves your belief. When you master your thoughts, you master your actions. And when you master your actions, you begin mastering your life. That is the true power of Stoicism. Rule 9. Learn the power of silence. Most people react immediately. Someone insults them. They respond. Someone criticizes them. They argue. Someone doubts them. They try to prove themselves. The Stoics chose a different path. They understood. Not every opinion deserves a response. Not every battle deserves your energy. Marcus Aurelius rarely wasted time trying to convince people. He focused on becoming better. Not looking better. Silence isn't weakness. It's self-control. When you stop reacting to everything, you start protecting your peace. Think about it. How much energy have you wasted trying to win arguments that changed nothing? True discipline means controlling not only your actions, but also your words. Sometimes the strongest response is no response at all, because silence forces you to think before you act. And every disciplined life is built on thoughtful decisions, not emotional reactions. Rule 10. Never stop becoming better. There is no finish line for self-discipline. The moment you believe you've done enough, you begin moving backward. The Stoics never chased perfection. They chased progress. Every sunrise was another chance to become slightly better than yesterday. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor, yet every night he reflected on his mistakes, not with guilt, but with honesty. He understood. Growth begins the moment you stop pretending. You have nothing left to learn. Imagine improving just 1% every day. It seems insignificant until months become years. Those small improvements become an extraordinary life. Discipline isn't built in one dramatic moment. It's built in quiet moments, repeated consistently. One workout, one book, one difficult conversation, one promise kept. Again and again. That is how ordinary people become extraordinary. Not through talent, not through luck, but through relentless consistency. Remember this: your future isn't created by your biggest decision. It's created by the small choices you repeat every single day. Choose discipline today, and your future self will thank you for the rest of your life. Today, you've learned 10 timeless Stoic rules. But here's the truth: knowing these rules will not change your life. Applying them will. Most people love collecting knowledge. Very few have the courage to live it. Marcus Aurelius didn't become great because he read philosophy. He became great because he practiced it every single day. When life became difficult, he didn't complain. He became stronger. When comfort called, he chose discipline. When fear appeared, he chose courage. And that's the real lesson. Self-discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, one choice at a time. Every morning, you choose between comfort and growth. Every evening, you choose between excuses and responsibility. Those choices seem small, but over months, they become habits, and habits become your destiny. Imagine where you'll be 1 year from today if you choose discipline instead of convenience. If you wake up when you said you would, if you keep your promises, if you master your emotions, if you guard your time, if you become stronger than your excuses, your life would be unrecognizable, not because of one big decision, but because of thousands of small disciplined choices. Remember this: motivation will come and go, feelings will rise and fall, circumstances will constantly change, but discipline will always remain, because discipline is the bridge between the life you have and the life you deserve. So from this moment forward, stop asking yourself, what do I feel like doing? Start asking, what does my future self need me to do? That one question can transform your entire life. Marcus Aurelius left us with a timeless reminder. The impediment to action advances action. The obstacle is the way. Every obstacle is an opportunity to practice discipline. Every difficult day is another chance to become the person you were meant to be. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for more motivation. Start today. Start small. Stay consistent. And one day, you'll look back and realize that self-discipline changed everything. If this video helped you, subscribe to The Stoic Edge. Every week, we explore timeless Stoic wisdom to help you master your mind, strengthen your character, and build a life that nothing can shake. Until next time, guard your mind, choose discipline, and remember, your greatest victory will always be the one you win over yourself.